fellowshiped with along the way. If you want to know more about the pilgrimage, there is a documentary, and you can find it on YouTube now. This Far by Faith, and it was a 6-part series, and segment 6 is called Rise Up and Call Their Names, and that's our story of the Interfaith Pilgrimage of the Middle Passage. And so we're embarking on a legacy campaign so that Crossing the Waters Institute for Cultural Exchange can continue. So, fortunately for all of you, you are here at the very beginning. This is our launch, and that's why we had this sacred ceremony to open it, because you always have to have your ancestors by your side. You have to pray. When anything that you do in your life that's important to you, you got to bring your ancestors in, and whoever you pray to has to be there. You have to bring spirit and prayer into your work, and it's so helpful, and the guidance that you get is phenomenal. So right now I'm going to ask my beloved brother to share some words.
The ancestors had a saying: the best way to talk the talk is to walk the walk. What did they say? Walk the walk. The best way to talk the talk is to walk the walk. What did they say? The best way to talk the talk is to walk the walk. Talk that talk. What's the best way? Walk that walk. What did they say? Talk that talk. What's the best way? Walk that walk. One people. One earth. One people. One earth. One people. One earth. So this was done at every circle upon leaving a destination, upon arriving at a destination, upon leaving a destination, and getting to certain places of historical significance, lynching trees and auction blocks and ports of entries and museums that showed, displayed testicles and wounds and breasts being severed in jars where, this was in Baltimore. Horrific, and you have people from all walks of life from all over the world walking together, and you had white guilt and black rage, a Molotov cocktail. And we're walking together and chanting Nam Yo Renge Kyo, and as we're going to these different sites, the guilt and the rage, because in the beginning everybody was very sweet and very kind to each other. They were very polite in the introduction of things, but as we were walking, as we moved along, it is written, you had all of these cultures coming together to walk together in the 90s. So I feel like the Interfaith Pilgrimage of the Middle Passage, the brainchild of Angie Sanz Clare and Mother Ingelasky, it helped to usher in the Aquarian Age. We kind of were a part of a midwifery. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Midwifery of ushering in the Aquarian Age with this 13-month-long journey. For me, I was a homeboy from around the way, ran the streets all my life, all over the country, skullduggery everywhere. it was a catharsis. Everywhere I carried a knife and a gun, I'm carrying the Pan-African flag. But by this time, I had evolved to a person who was thinking of our oneness, the law of one people, one earth. I have been on this since 1994, 95. I don't know if you know Copeland Devi. She's the one that mentioned one people, one earth to me. And it was, sometimes we are an awakening to each other. A word can all of a sudden trigger something in you and awaken you. And I've been on one people, one earth pilgrimage ever since. I heard the word. That's what an awakening is. And so everywhere we went, for me, it was one people, one earth. When it was dealing with white guilt, black rage, there was a point in time when blacks was asking whites, what are y'all doing here? Y'all got to get, they wanted them off the pilgrimage. They wanted to move blacks off the pilgrimage. We had big meetings in the South about that. We had large, huge meetings, 70, 80 people sitting in a big gymnasium auditorium to discuss that, to chew on that. So, we had to make sense of that it was all a part of the divine plan that we go back together. You know, that we go through that, that we went through that pain together. Yeah, the guilt and the rage, all of that had to be simmered through walking and praying and eating together and all of these things. And we saw each other, so, you know, you live with me, and I live with y'all. We saw each other at our worst, we saw each other at our absolute best, you know. And there's nothing you can tell me about them, and there's nothing you can tell them about me, you know. I was vain, defiant, and a penthouse pilgrim. They giggle, they laugh, because they know that everywhere I went, everywhere I would find a nice little cubby hole for myself, someplace, you know, with sponge mattress and mud cloth laid out and candles.
The best spots.
I brought my apartment with me all the time, everywhere I went. I would create a space. Home was, for me, in the heart, everywhere you go. And so, yeah, I did have all the best spots. And I can come in there last from walking all day. I come in there and, what, that spot is open? I move right in. And so I'm still a penthouse pilgrim. I'm still vain, and I'm still defiant. You know, if you look at my license plates, it says the Moors Republic. I'm riding around with indigenous license plates. Is the law like that? No, they don't care for that. You know, there's not much they can do about it, but, you know, let them know I'm not under your jurisdiction. However, the Interfaith Pilgrimage of Middle Passage, coming back from that journey, having experienced Baptist, Pentecostal, every Christian denomination we fellowship with along the way. We fellowship, we did the Akan ceremonies. We did various different, the Orishas in Cuba, the Candomblé in Brazil. And then when we got to Africa, you know, it was just, that's when everything just kind of calmed down. Everybody, that's what we found. When we got to the motherland, where they were waiting on us in Guida. They were waiting on our arrival. And my one people, one earth, and that vision of our Hopi ancestors saying that we're at a crossroads and we have to choose which road we want to go down. And who are we waiting for? Who? Who are we waiting for?
We are the ones we are waiting for.
That's right. That's right.
We're the ones we're waiting for. You know, so this is the awakening. This is what we're awakening wakening up to. So when we come to that greeter, and he had envisioned us coming back home, the rainbow family coming back, because Pangea is Africa. That's Africa. And people were walking around, from one end of the globe to the other for the longest before, the ocean had come up and made these continents, right? And so people have been here since Pangea, and so and back and forth, and coming out in dugout boats. They knew river waves along the water, stuff like that. So I got quite an education. So I went over there with a fade. I come back twisted up. What? And when I got back, 13 months, 15 countries, so many experiences, so many sights, so many people, so many faces. Myself, a few of us, when the Middle Passage got stuck in Puerto Rico, I think we got stuck in Puerto Rico, and time was of the essence, and they had to cut out South America. We had to have another meeting because I didn't have it in my heart to cut out South America. South America had played a major part of the trafficking, a big part of the trafficking, but time was of the essence, and people were waiting in Africa, and they felt the need to move on. So with their permission, we asked for a delegation to represent going up through South America, and we went up through all the money now with those who went to Africa. So there was 5 of us. The author was one of them. That wanted to honor South America. We went pilgrimaging up through South America, and this is where those honoring the ancestors